When I started writing my novel, Pale Privileges, Dark Roast, I knew the names had to do more than help you remember who was who. They needed to carry meaning, thematic, symbolic, sometimes even ironic. In this video, I'll walk through how I approached naming the characters of 4 prominent women in the novel, and why these choices matter to the story's deeper layers. One of the first names you encounter in the novel is Octavia Hurston. She appears in the opening paragraph, before the reader knows anything about the world. That's intentional. Her name carries the weight of 2 barrier-breaking writers, Octavia Butler and Zora Neale Hurston. Both women reshaped their genres, Hurston in Black folklore, Butler in science fiction, writing with truth, dignity, and a refusal to ask permission. That spirit is what Octavia brings into the story. She doesn't dominate the page, but she doesn't have to. Her name does part of the work, calling up women whose presence changed a room the moment they entered it. Anne's name comes from a woman I once worked with in my corporate life, proudly Italian, razor sharp, and wholly unwilling to tolerate anyone's nonsense. Her middle name was Anne. Though the fictional Anne eventually took on her own quirks and contradictions, as characters inevitably do, the name and heritage remain a quiet homage to the woman who lit the first spark. But Anne Accettala is more than a tribute. Her surname, drawn from the Italian word accettare, to accept, carries an irony that defines her story. Because in the novel, acceptance is the one thing Anne refuses to offer her company, and the one thing she most deeply desires. She challenges rituals. She questions rules. She resists the invisible hierarchies everyone else has learned to swallow. She won't accept what she knows is broken, and she dares to believe things might change if someone is finally brave enough to say so. She is a force the reader feels before they fully understand. Her name echoes Pauline Breedlove from the Toni Morrison novel, The Bluest Eye. A character shaped by a world that taught her to see herself as less, a person wounded by a system, yet enforcing it. The character in my novel resists change because the company she works for convinced her that any shift might cost her the little security she's managed to claim. And so she clings to the very rules that once wounded her, enforcing them as if they were a protection rather than harm. Marie Bernadette is the fiancée of the protagonist, Cody. Her name is a quiet nod to Sinead O'Connor, an artist who refused to be simplified. Marie Bernadette were O'Connor's middle names, and like her, the character Marie is not easily reduced to a single identity. O'Connor carried her truth loudly, and sometimes painfully, but always on her own terms. This Marie inherits that. On the surface, she's frustrated, rightfully, that Cody isn't giving their wedding the attention it deserves. She loves him, but Marie is not simply a partner waiting for a man to catch up. She is a woman balancing dreams, disappointments, convictions, and fears of rejection. She pushes Cody not because she wants control, but because she refuses to disappear inside someone else's life.